First thing, I'd just like to congratulate University of Texas on a hard-fought, well-played, amazing college football game. I've coached, I don't know how long I've coached in the big scheme, but been in a whole bunch of really, really big games and 15 of these, and this one takes a back seat, doesn't take a back seat to any one of them. National championships, conference championships, just all the scenarios, the moments, the big plays, both sides of the ball. The things when your back's against the wall, your goal line stands, and Hail Marys into the end zone, a 2-minute drill to go 75 yards with no timeouts, the forced interceptions, to start the game, and they come out and they block a punt, and just I love watching young people respond. And to believe, and our guys have an unshakable belief, I know that. And what a display, and so incredibly proud of them, the coaches, our staff, just to get them to this moment and to get to 6-0 against a really good Texas football team that's well coached and got a bunch of great players, and they laid it all on the line as well. Just really, it was fun to be a part of, a game like that. But I can't brag enough on our players. Just their toughness, their leadership, their effort, their strain, their love for one another. I love what we're building, and as we've said, for a while now, again, there's no limits on what this team can do, and no excuses either. We got everything that we need. We're certainly not there. There's plenty that we'll have to improve and get better at. But boy, I'm just really thankful for our players and their effort. They are nothing short of amazing today.
We'll start front row all the way on the left.
Dillon, you've always been a really good 2-minute quarterback. So take me through, it's 1:22 to go, what you're thinking, and then take me through the drive, if you don't mind, please.
Yeah, starting out, I saw 117 on the dot, and I know we're getting at the 25, so just starting to drive out right, trying to create a completion with Drake, across the middle. From there, you're rolling, and you kind of got that rhythm, that flow. And then I believe throw Jaleel on the sideline, so he gets another chunk. And, as time's dwindling, as you get to that midfield, just knowing, we can get 3, within a 20-yard gain, but also, a chance to win the game. But not taking a sack is in my mind, and finding a way to either first down, touchdown, or out of bounds. So after that, did lust, found Drake in the middle again. He gets a good chunk. Now we're in the plus territory, but I also know clock's running. And I think, sorry, I'm kind of blazing, but I think the next play, do you know what happened? Say that one more time. Was that the next one? Oh no, we got a penalty. Okay, yes, we got a penalty down the sideline, so we get the plus 15. Now we're in the red zone, but I know that, or the tight zone, but now we got near the 30 to 20 second mark. So same thing, touchdown or out of bounds. So just saw the corner clamp and then seen Nick in the back of the end zone, and man, that's what we practice, week in and week out, and just proud of everyone coming together, controlling the chaos and just dialing it in. That's big time football and something you dream of as a little kid. So just being a part of it is something special, especially with all these guys in that locker room. I love every single one of them. So
front row on the left.
Yeah, Dillon, I want to ask you more specifically about that touchdown pass. Is the pressure clamps around you? What was your process there that you're supposed to go through on that play? How did it develop? And then did you know as soon as you let it go that Nick was going to get it?
Yeah, so initially we had our man and zone beater, but, obviously knew his zone, knew I couldn't get sacked there, so my process was touchdown or out of bounds. And as he clamped that flat, just found Nick in the back of the end zone, and the rest is history. So.
We're going to go second row on the right.
Dillon, there's been so many great OU quarterbacks come through here, have these type of moments, and the critique is always there for quarterbacks at this school. Mm-hmm. Do you feel any sort of validation with your performance today and just what this moment means to you? And for you, Brent, too, what did it mean to see the way Dillon performed today?
I'll start out. This is our moment, and I'm a big team guy. This is what we've worked for. This is, the off-season training with next to these three guys and, coach pushing us. This is a team effort, and that's what it was. I always say it. There's no, throw without a block, and there's no, pitch without a catch. So just seeing everyone make plays and, find a way to win, that's all that matters. I always say it's a W or L, and we just want to find ways to get W's and keep moving and keep getting better.
Third row. Oh, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, Coach.
He's the calmest guy I've ever been around at the quarterback position. And he's got great belief in the players around him, incredibly humble. You don't see him ever, tooting his own horn. And, he's always trying to compliment and call someone else up. And but he's prepared. He's worked really, really hard. He's been one of the most consistent players in our program from a leadership and showing up every day with the right mindset and bringing out the best in his teammates. So he was fearless. And again, I don't put any limits on what Dillon can do. And he's playing as confident as anybody on our team right now. And I think he understands the collective parts of the rest of the offense and the defense and the kicking game and doing their part. So really, really proud. And he's just a guy that he's going to find a way to get it done.
Third row on the right.
This is a two-parter for you, Dillon, and also Jalil. Coach Sarkisian said, Dillon, that your legs was a big key to winning the game. One, did you think that would be a part of your success? And two, Jalil, this is also a moment where receivers step up big, and you guys have had different guys, but you were kind of consistent all day. Just talk about your day as well.
Dillon, go ahead and go first.
I'll just say, man, I knew, at a certain point, big plays were going to have to be made, and chunk plays, that's things we talk about, in the explosive play battle. And, being able to have the ability for things to clear out and use my legs is something, man, it needed to happen. So I'm glad it did, and, I'll continue to keep it simple. It's finding ways to win. And if it's using my legs, if it's throwing the ball, if it's handing the ball off, whatever way to win is really my main focus. And just everyone come together collectively, the defense getting a bunch of big stops, special teams playing big when we need it, and then the O coming together in the right moment. I think that kind of was on display today.
And Jalil.
Just to go back to like 365 days since we had this game, just us every day working out, we with Coach Schmitty, we've been there 49 med balls, just putting in work consistently. So I just thought back to them days. So just being able to make plays when I can, big time player make plays. So every opportunity I get, I took advantage of it.
Third row on the right.
Gentry, Danny, Coach is talking about, Brent's talking about what a thrill this game is. I'm curious from the player's perspective. Do you allow yourself to enjoy this? How do you guys manage the emotions, and how does that speak to the evolution of this team?
Yeah, I think, obviously when that scoreboard hits, all zeros, that's when you really kind of soak it all in. In the moment when there's those big plays, looking back last year, last week we had that pick six, and I think we kind of got too overexcited. I think this week we really settled down. After Gentry had that really great interception, we kept our poise. We said that's just one drive. We got a lot of game left. We got to keep going, keep attacking. I think our guys did a tremendous job. Just focused. We were physical all day. I'm really proud of the guys up front. They really brought it every single snap. And what a great team effort. From both sides of the ball. Really played complementary football together.
Like Danny said, I think we just had to stay focused, and when we got the opportunity to make big plays, we had to keep our head down, just keep playing the next play. I think that was the biggest thing that we did really well today, and we executed when we needed to.
Second row on the left.
For Brent, obviously last year this game did not go the way you wanted. Where do you feel this program is now a year and a half into since you took the job?
Yeah, I think it goes without saying, I know I've talked about this, we're better in every area. And we're not where we want to be, but this is the next step. And this team is a very determined football team. And there's, again, a lot of belief for having 63 new players on the squad. This is a team that's close. There's love, trust, and respect that's genuine. And again, I think, we have a very selfless football team. And as keepers of the room at this great university, there have been a lot of former great teams and players and coaches. Again, what this program has represented. And I think a year, 12 months into it, this is a team that they embrace that. They recognize that, and they understand the responsibility that comes with that. And that's a blue collar mindset, and that's showing up every day with the same attitude, and to be an example of consistency. That's what the great programs are, and we're striving to be that. Again, as we build it, one day at a time. And this was another moment for us, and the things that you don't get back, times and words and opportunity. And this was a great opportunity for us today to take that next step. This was an important one. Last year was an embarrassment. My hands are all over that. And, the players that played for us last year, they were hurt from that too, And ultimately, my job as the leader is to get the best out of them. And I did a very poor job of that. And so those are things that you don't get bitter from it, you get better. And as I've told the team several times, I've been on my knees plenty in this profession. And I've always been able to respond the right way and try to be a great example for these guys. And these guys ultimately are the ones that do the work, that make a decision, that lead the locker room, and put us in a position today where we're 6-0, half of the season's done. We got a lot to improve on. We got to get healthy. Just being the bye week comes at a really good time for us. And again, we got a lot of football still to be played. And so there's a maturity about this team after having what they have gone through. And we've educated, all the newcomers as well, to where we're at. So there was certainly there's a redemptive piece to it, but it's not redemptive to me personally. It's to this team and this program, and what this program has stood for a really, really long time.
Front row on the right.
Dillon, could you try to explain the difference in the way you felt last year when you could not play and you had to sit out there and watch that versus the high point of scoring that winning touchdown and that emotion, the difference in those?
Yeah, I'm a big believer in God bringing everything full circle. And I think just in general, when you step away from the game, it puts into perspective how beautiful it is and how gracious it is, and you can never take that for granted. And it was totally different, a different feeling. But man, this is Team 129, and this is what we're all about. And just continue to get better and pushing one another. I look this guy Danny in the eyes every single day at practice, and just him pushing me as a leader, as a friend, and everyone in that facility. I love how much they love this team, and that means a lot to me.
Front row left.
Yeah, for Brent and for Danny, can you guys talk about the defense? 3 takeaways, 5 sacks, goal line stand, all those unbelievably impactful plays, and how they kind of impacted the end of this game.
Danny, go ahead, go first.
Okay. Every single Tuesday, that's Tanoga Tuesday. Takeaways equals victory. That's been a big emphasis on this team, this year. I think, just looking back at it, I'm just so proud of how well we've responded. When adversity strikes, we keep our poise, we don't flinch, and we keep swinging. I think, looking back, last year, obviously that game happened, man. I told the guys earlier, I remember that feeling. That's something the older guys, we experience that. And there's every single day, you go to bed and you think about that, and there's only so much that you can do. All that hard work, every single extra set that you do in the weight room is for a game like this. And I think, our team did a tremendous job responding, man, and all that hard work has finally paid off, but we have so much more to achieve.
Yeah, they've had an aggressive mindset. We're playing physical, we're playing aggressive because of all their hard work. Certainly off the field, but they put a lot of time, on their own. And I've told these guys this several times that, leadership's going to drive this football team. At the end of the day, coaches can't play. Players decide on whether or not they want to be successful and then whether or not they're willing to do what it takes. Now, I know what they're capable of, but what are they willing to do? And they've been the example. All these guys up here have been the example. Danny's been an amazing leader. You asked about defense. He's been an amazing leader. As good a leader as I've been around. And he's imposed his will from a leadership standpoint, and he's drugged guys with him. All the while, he's remained incredibly humble. And let you coach him hard. He knows he's not where he needs to be, but he's going to give you everything he's got, and he can go right back to work. That's this football team. They're not a satisfied football team. And so I love the competitiveness of this team, but also the maturity and the humility that it takes and the respect they have to be, a great program, what it's going to take moving forward.
Front left.
Brent, you gave up 30 points, but that's a long way from what the defense was last year. I'm wondering if you could compare this defense to when you were here the first time, are there any of those teams that this defense reminds you of?
It reminds me a little bit of that 1999 to 2000. Just no offense to those guys back in the day, no offense to these guys, but I used the word, we were a bunch of misfits back in 2000. We didn't know how good we could be. And but man, that was a group. They were tough as all get out, and man, they were raggedy up, and they just came every day and went to work. And these guys have been exactly that. We're a little shinier in some spots than that group, but also I think the parallels are that you didn't know how good we could be, and what that team was committed to was just improving each and every day. The guys that were two best friends on the team that people that know was Torrance Marshall, our middle linebacker, and Josh Heupel, two guys from completely polar opposite ends of the earth. One from Dade County, Florida, and one from Aberdeen or somewhere up north in the farmland. And guys couldn't be more opposite as people. But man, those were the real fiber of our football team. And this is the team that has grown incredibly close over the last several months. But these guys have worked hard at that. Yet that didn't just happen. There's got to be a lot of intentionality. Relationships take a lot of work. We've challenged them. We've nurtured that. But for us to realize our potential and have an opportunity to be a great team, man, we got to be a team that knows each other, that loves each other, that understands the culture, and that defends the standard of excellence that this program is represented. And these guys have been amazing.
Front right.
Yeah, Dillon. Last drive, you go out there. You didn't do this then, but can you do it now? Can you imagine what's going on in Honolulu as you guys make that drive, and what happens in Honolulu when Nick catches that ball?
Man, I got a lot of family back home that just love me and are very supportive of my dreams and aspirations. And there's three things I represent. That's the name on front, name on my back, and the state of Hawaii. Just because, man, that's what made me, And I hold it heavy because I love that place. I love everything it represents, and that's love, humility, and respect, and I'll forever be that. So,
you go back right corner.
Yeah, the defensive guys and Coach Venables, that goal line stand, they get the first down, they get inside the 1 yard line. Can you guys walk us through just those plays and how that can potentially help you guys moving forward throughout the season mentally?
Gentry, go first this time, please. Please.
All right, so
he was on the sideline.
So first off, the coach did a tremendous job, game planning that exact scenario. We put together a perfect package for that situation. We had young guys like Kip Lewis come in who were ready to play. He was locked in, dialed in. And at the end of the day, a goal line situation like that, it comes down to heart. How bad someone wants it. How bad team can really come together and generate push. I think the guys up front did a tremendous job. All 4 snaps to really just give it all they got, 1 snap at a time, 1 second at a time. And guys like Kip Lewis, Jaron, Dasan, Billy, all those guys did a tremendous job. Just trusting their job, trusting their fit, and when they came in that gap, explode through it. And I think at the end of the day, that was the outcome that happened.
We'll go front center.
Brent, there's going to be a lot of attention. There already has been a lot of attention on Dillon this season. Now this game's going to even bring it to another level. How comfortable are you going to be with him getting a lot more Heisman attention now? And then I'll ask Jalil, how would you politic for him being a Heisman contender? And then finally, Dillon, how do you handle that Heisman attention?
Let's go opposite. Let's go Dillon, Jalil, and then we'll finish with Coach.
I'll say this, it's not my main focus. You know, I'm focused on, you know, heading into this bye week and getting better, you know, watching the tape and finding ways to get better, and then, shoot, taking it 1 week at a time. And I think as you do that, the rest will take care of itself. And I'm a big believer in that. I know it's the forefront of what we're all about. So just taking it 1 week at a time and staying present, that will take care of itself. So,
Jalil?
I've been saying it since day one, since I met him. He's one of them guys that bring it day in, day out, consistent, great leader, and I'm going to keep saying it. He deserves the Heisman this year, so I'm going to keep promoting that till he gets it.
Finally, Coach.
There's no doubt Dillon's, you know, he's one of the best in college football and is deserving of the praise he's been given, and he'll be the first one to tell you, you know, his main goal is to be as good of a leader as he can and do his part, 1 of 11 on the offense. He's been amazing, and again, Dillon is a smart guy. He realized you just continue to take care of business, continue to improve, show up every day with the same mindset, a level of consistency. All that stuff takes care of itself at the end. But man, he's an assassin, no doubt about it.
Front row left.
Hey, Brent, 2 touchdowns on the ground today for Tawi. What do you see out of him today, and what impresses you the most about his approach, where just making the most of his opportunities?
You know, he's a great example. You know, he's not out there, you know, for as many snaps as other guys, but not everybody has the same role. Everybody has the same status on the team, but not everybody has the same role. So whatever role you have, man, maximize those opportunities. Do your part. You know, live your life with no regret. Be ready, be prepared, and that's what Tawi always is. He's an amazing example, humble, doesn't say anything. Literally doesn't say anything. And but he shows up and he plays with toughness. He fuels guys with how he plays. Guys feed off of that. He's a very physical player, hard to knock off his feet, and just a great model of consistency. And he's thankful for his opportunity.
We have time for a few more. We'll start second row on the right.
Dillon, I think I saw in the post-game TV interview that you said that Baker called you last night. What was that conversation like, and what did that mean to hear from him before the game?
It was good, man. He's just a really good dude, someone I, you know, admire a bunch. Just obviously playing here, but man, for a long time, he's a stud. Love the way he plays and just love what he's all about. So, really super cool to just have that access and that be something, you know, from guys who've played here. You know, they love this place, and I love that about OU. So,
last 2, second row near the middle.
Brent, I think at midfield, maybe a minute after this game was done, you handed Danny a trophy, you hugged Drake, and you had Isaiah Coe behind you waving a big flag. If last year was an embarrassment, what would be the word that you'd use to describe that moment?
You know, just how incredibly proud, you know, you are of so many people, players, that their commitment, their work. It was, you know, just really, really thankful for them and happy for them in that moment. They get a chance to, you know, get their pride back, you know, because that was a tough moment a year ago. And so really happy for them that they could have a moment like that because they deserved it. They'd work for it. And it's just a moment. And you celebrate hard, don't celebrate long, and because we got to get back to work. But really just proud of all the people that have been a part of that.
All right, thank you, Coach and players. OU players will be available right outside the doors here as well. Oh, sorry, they're going to be in here. Sorry, they're staying in here.